Alright, walking out here on the track again for vlog number 2. Earlier today, I saw a video by Destin from Smarter Everyday. Probably my favorite YouTube channel. And his video was about murmurations, which it's basically like that cloud of birds, for example, that fly together and flock together and all that. It's really pretty. You should watch the video. It's, like I said, my favorite YouTube channel, most likely. Most of the time, at least. But one of the points that he made in the video was these murmurations change, and the way that they look change, and the way that they act change based on the turn radius of the bird, right? And I was extrapolating and thinking about like how this might apply to us, the like human species, right? Not that we're flying in the same way, but we are a herd animal, and we work in a crowd, we work in a herd, we work in societies. And a point that he was making, another point that he was making with the video was there's these simple rules that we follow, and one of the rules that I forgot the specific birds that he was talking about, but the smaller ones, right? They turn in a certain way, and they have a leader, right? There's one bird that they all follow, and when that main bird turns, the rest of them sort of follow with them. And in my mind, I see this as being like a herd animal as well, much like us. And it made me think about how it's easier to go with the crowd, right? It's easier to go with the crowd. But like I said with my previous video about train tracks, right? It's good to follow a track because you don't want to make a new track every time, a new trail every time, and you want to make it easier for the person following, and they can build off of it. But sometimes you have to ask, like, maybe we should turn, right? Maybe we shouldn't be going the same way, or maybe I shouldn't be going the same way. Maybe I don't want to be one of the birds in that murmuration and turn this way and not go with the crowd. But it's harder, right? It's scarier, right? The nail that sticks out gets hammered, as the saying goes. But I'm reminded of a lesson that I learned from art, right? So I have an art background, and there are times when you work on something for months, right? Or let's just say weeks, right? Let's say you work on weeks for this project, and let's say it's just something simple like a portrait. And you're drawing the body, you're drawing the whole thing, and you draw the head on the shoulders and the neck and whatever. But quite possibly, that head that you drew is like placed wrong, or it's sized wrong, or something fundamentally about it is wrong, right? And you keep working on it because you didn't catch it. It's hard to tell these things right away, and you draw it, work on it for hours and hours, maybe days, right? Because the head's important, right? But if you are fundamentally off with the placement of the head, or the angle of the head, or something, right? It will always be wrong. It will always be wrong unless you fundamentally change it, which is to say, sometimes you have to make the drastic step. Sometimes you have to erase the whole thing, or not the whole thing, let's say just, for example, a major thing. Sometimes the whole thing. Sometimes you have to just restart and make a new drawing or a painting. But sometimes you have to get rid of a major part of it because it will be better for the whole, right? It's hard, it sucks to have this head, especially if you were working on it for days and it looks so nice, and you like the nose and you like the eyes and everything's right about it and it looks so good, but it's wrong. And if you're willing to spend months on this project, this painting, there's gonna be months and months and months more where you're gonna have to work on this painting with this thing that's wrong, and you're making decisions based off of this head that's wrong. You're making decisions on the color and the background and everything, and it's all based off something that's wrong. So even though it might hurt because you worked on it for so long, sometimes you have to nip it in the bud, even if that bud's grown for a while.